Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Well, it's not something you see much of right now. Democratic lawmakers clapping for their Republican leader. This shows a bipartisanship happened right here in Jefferson City today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Evie Allen.
And I'm Emily Spain. Thanks so much for joining us. Those lawmakers cheered multiple times during Governor Parsons' State of the State address today. KOMU 8's Colby Zach is at the state capitol for that speech. And Colby,
Still waiting to hear more details about a deadly shooting at Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. Now, this is video from the scene of that incident earlier today. One person was killed and 3 others injured in that shooting this evening. Authorities say one person is in custody, but it's unclear whether there could be more shooters involved.
officials say the people who were hurt were taken to the hospital. Police have not commented yet on a possible motive. Tonight's shooting happened only one parking lot away from the Walmart where 23 people were killed in a racially motivated attack in 2019. The local NBC affiliate there spoke to one man who was not at the mall during the shooting, but is a frequent customer.
Well, it's really shocking to see something like this happen, like, so locally. Yeah, I was thinking about coming here today, and I just didn't end up coming, and yeah, it's a little bit mind-boggling.
We're still waiting for a news conference from Texas officials. As soon as that happens and we learn new details, we'll be sure to bring them to you. Friends and family held a vigil tonight for the victims of the shooting at Michigan State University. Many of the people at the vigil brought flowers to honor the memories of Ariel Anderson, Alexandria Verner, and Brian Frazier. 5 other students remain in critical condition. Earlier today, Michigan State University students came together to protest that deadly shooting. Students are calling on lawmakers to put a stop to deadly school shootings in the country. The rally then turned into a sit-in as students filled the walkway to express their concerns. More than $55,000 going to former Club Q employees and contractors. And again, we've been following that developing news out of El Paso. This is a news conference. Let's listen in.
Are being to Burgess High School by Sun Metro and dropped off there as the reunification center. So
I'm KOMU 8 Sports Director Ben Arnett, live in Sacramento, where the Mizzou basketball team takes on Utah State Thursday. We'll have live reports from here at Golden One Center.
We are watching rain, even some thunderstorms, but there's going to be some dry time too. We'll talk about when those dry times are going to mix in my first alert forecast.
And the Fulton Rotary Club is celebrating 100 years of service. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
The Mizzou men's basketball team starts the March Madness bracket tomorrow against Utah State. It's the Tigers' first appearance in the NCAA tournament since 2021. Good evening, I'm Julie O'Hare. Thanks for joining us tonight. KOMU Sports Director Ben Arnett arrived safely in Sacramento, California, and is counting down the hours to tomorrow's tip-off. And Ben, a lot of people are surprised about the Tigers' success under new head coach Dennis Gates.
Well, you know, Dennis Gates, when he leads Missouri onto the floor here at Golden One Center tomorrow, will be one of just 7 head coaches in the country to take their team to the NCAA tournament in their first season on the side tomorrow here in Sacramento. Reporting live in Sacramento at the NCAA tournament, I'm Ben Arnett, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, thanks, Ben. And there's more coming to March Madness from Missouri than just the basketball team. One Jefferson City company is making its mark by providing valuable information to fans. KOMU 8's Josh Schumann is in the studio to show us what they made.
Yeah, Julie, this right here is the official March Madness program, but there's no games in the state, so how did I get my hands on one? Well, I went to the main printing distributor, which is actually right in Jefferson City. Thousands of copies went to various tournament sites around the country, even where Mizzou will play in Sacramento. It's the biggest and fastest order ever.
Today, hundreds of law enforcement officers and family members gathered to honor an officer killed in the line of duty. Plus, we'll have a look at what the procession route to his final resting place looked like. Now the family of another police officer injured in that shooting showed their support today. This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Mason was truly a pillar of our community. He was our protector and our friend.
The state came together today to honor Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith. Exactly 1 week ago, the Herman Sergeant was killed in a deadly shooting. Good evening, everyone. I'm Hunter Walterman. Thanks for joining us tonight. Today, friends and family gathered at the funeral and procession, but first let's take a look back at what led up to today's funeral. It all started when Sergeant Mason Griffith and Officer Adam Sullentrup responded to a disturbance call at a Casey's convenience store in downtown Herman last Sunday night. There they found Kenneth Lee Simpson. When they tried to arrest him, Simpson shot at both of the officers. Griffith died and Sullentrup was taken to a St. Louis hospital with critical injuries. Simpson then ran away and barricaded himself in a house. 14 hours later, he finally surrendered. Since then, the town of Rosebud held a vigil in honor of Sergeant Griffith. Griffith also served as the Rosebud police chief where he lived. And on Friday, Herman held its own memorial to honor both officers. KOMU 8 News had team coverage from Gasconade County today. We start with KOMU 8's Jackson Valenti, who was at Owensville High School, where Sergeant Griffith attended school. The funeral ceremony took place at Owensville High School for members of the community and Griffith's loved ones.
I'm inside the Owensville High School gym where Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith's funeral was held. Over 2,000 people, including law enforcement from across the state, packed this gym to celebrate Griffith's life.
The ceremony in Owensville ended with a law enforcement procession to Rosebud. KOMU 8's Siobhan Harms was in Rosebud, and she has details on how law enforcement officers honored Sergeant Griffith during the procession.
Earlier today, hundreds of law enforcement.
A New Mexico Republican candidate who lost a race for the state legislature will stay behind bars tonight. This after a judge gave him no bail option at a hearing today. Solomon Pena lost in a landslide to the incumbent candidate with only 26% of the vote. He claims election fraud with no proof. He's now accused of ordering 4 men to shoot at the homes of Democratic officials. No one got hurt. Officers arrested him Monday. He's now in jail until he's scheduled for trial within the next 10 days.
Well, 2 officers are on paid administrative leave in Ohio after allegedly punching a woman. Now, we want to warn you, this video may be hard to watch. The incident happened at a McDonald's after police responded to a report of disorderly customer. Now, body cam video shows the customer complaining that she didn't get the extra piece of cheese she paid for on her sandwich. One officer tried to write out a formal trespassing warning, but she refused to reveal her identity.
We do not specifically train to punch.
The LGBTQ group Inclusion Plus is speaking out after receiving backlash from state officials over a diversity event.
And we're watching our next snow system that moves in Tuesday night into Wednesday. I have the latest timeline plus totals in my first alert forecast.
Plus, new details on the mass shooting in Monterey, California. This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Today, the Columbia Public Schools Superintendent and Inclusion Plus are responding to the governor's concerns about last week's drag performance at a diversity event. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ellie DeBeer. Thanks for joining us tonight.
We have an update for you, and the man accused of killing 7 people in back-to-back shootings at 2 Northern California mushroom farms, he appeared in court today. The 67-year-old was charged with 7 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Authorities believe he acted alone during Monday's mass shooting. The local county sheriff's office referred to the incident as workplace violence without giving more information about the motive.
We did charge 7 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder. They are charged. You'll note that the attempted murder is count 5. We have charged these in the manner in which the order which we believe that they occurred.
City officials will honor victims of gun violence with a memorial site that is open to the public. Over in Monterey Park, California, there was a vigil tonight to honor the 11 victims of Saturday's mass shooting. Hundreds of people gathered outside the dance studio where that shooting happened. They gave speeches and held candles. The shooting happened during a Lunar New Year celebration.
It marks the 50th anniversary of the Supreme Court decision of Roe v. Wade. It's also the first anniversary since the court overturned that landmark ruling. On the anniversary, Vice President Kamala Harris delivered a speech in Florida. Harris says the rights of freedom belong to us Americans. But in Washington, D.C., anti-abortion supporters gathered on the steps of the Supreme Court. They say they held a prayer vigil and left flowers by the building in honor of those, quote, lost to abortion. Family, friends, and fans of Lisa Marie Presley gathered for her public memorial service today. That service was in the front lawn of Graceland to honor her life and legacy. Lisa Marie was the only child of Elvis and Priscilla Presley. Celebrities paid tribute to her during the service, and fans will have the opportunity to view Lisa Marie's final resting place. Coming up, how you can apply for cheaper tickets to the True False Film Fest. Plus, find out how a local animal rescue is helping find homes for their dogs.
And today's high temperature got to 38.